Welcome to Lava USA. This is Question Mark. And in this video, I'd like to give you an overview and comparison of the HighTech HE/HL models and the new MAGIO MS system. So these models can come equipped as heating circulators, and you can see here they can come in 4-liter bath tank systems. So the HE and HL systems come in one 15 volt with 1 kilowatt heater, 2 kilowatt heater with two 30 volt systems with the upper temperature limit of 250 degrees C. They come with a pressure suction pump with 4 speeds. The pressure range is from 5.8 to 10.2 psi on the pressure side with a flow rate of 22 to 26 liters per minute. From a usability perspective, you can see the HE has a TFT screen with buttons for the interaction and data entry, changing your settings and things of that nature. If we move over to the HL, you'll see it has the same thing that the HE with the addition of an LCD screen for additional information and a numeric keypad, which makes set point and data entry a lot easier. If we move on down to the newest product in our portfolio, the MAGIO MS, you can see it has a color TFT touchscreen. On the front page it has 3 views that you can scroll past, showing a combination of data and graphs, or a large graph. So from a usability and viewing perspective, the MAGIO has a much nicer, modern, up-to-date screen. So these circulators can also come in combinations with refrigeration units for refrigerated heating circulator combinations. The HE and the HL can come paired with refrigeration systems enabling a temperature range starting at -28 with an upper temperature limit to 200 degrees C in refrigerated heating combinations, with the largest unit going down to -50, again the upper limit up to 200 degrees C. The cooling power ranges from the smallest one having 350 watts cooling power up to 900 watts cooling power in the largest one. The MAGIO MS is also paired with refrigeration systems for refrigerated heating circulator applications. Temperature ranges from -30 to 200 degrees C down to -50 to 200 degrees C. So very similar to the HighTech units that it's replacing. The difference is that the cooling power ranges from 200 watts in the smallest system with the MAGIO MS up to a kilowatt of cooling power for the MS1000F. So with the MAGIO refrigerated heating circular combinations, you actually have stronger system. One of the other benefits of the MAGIO is it has a continuously variable pressure suction pump, which has a higher flow rate and pressure capability than the HE or the HL. So if you have an application that needs faster flow rate or maybe a little higher pressure, the MAGIO unit is the way to go from choosing between these models. All units, the HE, HL, and MAGIO MS have external PT100 sensor capability, which is important because you want to control from where that sensor is in your application. Your application temperature is what's important. For applications where you might require tighter temperature control, therefore needing calibration, the HE and the HL models have 1, 2, or 3-point calibration. On the new MAGIO MS system, you have calibration options for 1 point, 2 point, or then up to 10 points. So if you have a wide temperature range, or if you want to have a lot of data points in a small range, the MAGIO MS is a better way to go with respect to a calibration curve. Now let's take a look at the back of the units. Here on the back of the HE4, you can see it has M16 pump connections and a cooling coil connections as well. All the units that are configured for heating circulators, the HE4, the HL4, and the MSBC4 all have that same combination. Where things change though is when you have the input-output options for the models. On the HE, you have a serial port, which is RS-232 only, and a slot for an optional analog module if you want to communicate via voltage or current. You also have an external PT100 sensor port. If we move over to the HL model, you'll notice that we still have a serial port for RS-232, but the HL also incorporates RS-485. The optional analog module PT100 port. But what you'll also see is that it has these two outlets that we call stock eyes, which can control external accessories, like an inline solenoid valve for example, if your application is high above and you're concerned about any siphoning of the fluid back into the bath tank when it's off, those will close off the fluid path so you can eliminate that. In addition, you could have a cooling water solenoid that would automatically open and activate the cooling water air tap so you don't have to go over and actually turn the water on and off yourself. If we step over to the MAGIO MS system, you'll see that it has a lot more I/O options. We have the serial port here, which incorporates RS-232 and RS-485. You have an optional slot here for analog, for current or voltage. But we also have a USB Type B for communication to a PC and Ethernet. So this also can utilize Modbus TCP/IP protocol. A USB Type A port for data logging, profile saving, program saving, and the like. You can transfer those between different MAGIO units. And the external PT100 sensor port. The MAGIO has just one of the stock eyes, again, for use with solenoid valves for cooling water or the inline flow circuit. So now that we've gone through the features and some of the comparisons between the HighTech HE/HL models and the new MAGIO MS circulator, when would you choose one over the other? If you have a high temperature application near 250 degrees C, you probably want to go with the MAGIO MS because it has an upper limit of 300 degrees C, whereas the HE and the HL can only go to 200 degrees C. So from an I/O perspective, if basic RS-232 is fine for you, well then maybe an HE or any of these models can work for you. But if you have a more sophisticated communication setup that requires Ethernet or USB, then in that case the MAGIO is the obvious choice. Also from a pump perspective, since the MAGIO has a stronger pump for a higher flow rate and higher pressure, if your application requires that, then the MAGIO is the way to go from a pumping perspective. And certainly from a user interface, usability, ease of use, and to see quickly at a glance what is going on, the MAGIO's large color TFT touchscreen is, up to date with modern technology compared to the older screens on the HE and the HL. So if you're interested in learning more about the differences between the HE/HL and the MAGIO MS models, you can go to ulabo.us, and we have a compare function on the website where you can select up to 4 different models. It will put them all in columns next to each other with all the parameters, their characteristics, so you can see at a glance, the differences between them. But please keep in mind that if you're still confused or have some additional questions about these models in your particular application, please reach out to us, and one of our account managers or technical support people will be gladly to discuss your application with you. Thank you.